Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're exploring the world of Oliver Sacks.
The renowned neurologist and author.
Exactly. We're going to be looking at a collection of his essays, specifically Mercury, My Own Life, My Periodic Table, and Sabbath.
All written near the end of his life.
Yes. And you know what's striking is how Sacks blends scientific curiosity with personal reflection and even gratitude.
Especially when you consider he was facing a terminal illness at the time.
It's really remarkable, isn't it? He doesn't shy away from those difficult topics.
Not at all. Instead, he approaches them with this incredible sense of acceptance and even wonder.
Okay, so let's start unpacking this, starting with Mercury.
Right.
This essay was written just before Sacks turned 80,
Right.
and he makes this interesting connection between elements and age,
Hmm.
comparing himself to gold at 79.
Yeah.
What do you think he's getting at with that comparison?
Well, it's a brilliant analogy, isn't it? He's suggesting that, gold people become more refined and valuable as they age. Think about it. Gold is precious because it's durable, it's resistant to corrosion, and it holds its value over time.
Right.
So in a way, Sachs is saying that aging isn't just about decline, it's also about accumulating wisdom and experience.
I like that. Seeing aging as a process of refinement,
Exactly.
and it fits with his overall positive outlook, right?
Absolutely.
He even jokes about giving a friend Mercury for his 80th birthday, and the friend replies, I take a little every morning for my health.
Oh, there's definitely a sense of humor there.
Yeah.
But beneath the humor, Sachs making a serious point about not viewing aging as solely a process of decline. He sees it as a time for an enlargement of mental life and perspective.
Mm-hmm. That's such a different way of looking at it compared to, say, someone like Samuel Beckett,
Oh, yeah.
who, when told about the beauty of a spring day,
Yeah.
simply said, I wouldn't go as far as that.
What a contrast.
Right. It really makes you think about how our individual perspectives shape how we experience the world.
Exactly. This contrast highlights something crucial about how we experience life, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
For Sachs, aging brings a deeper appreciation for things, even the simple things.
Mhm.
It's about recognizing the preciousness of time and making the most of each day.
And he's honest about his own life, too. He doesn't shy away from his accomplishments, but also admits to regrets.
Yeah?
He wishes he hadn't wasted so much time,
Right.
talks about his shyness, and expresses a desire to have traveled and experienced more cultures. It makes you realize that even brilliant minds like Sachs have moments of wishing things had been different.
Absolutely. His honesty is refreshing, isn't it? He's not presenting an idealized version of himself. He's acknowledging the complexities of a life fully lived.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he becomes more relatable.
Mm-hmm.
We all have regrets, things we wish we'd done differently. But Sachs shows us that even with those regrets, there's still beauty and meaning to be found in the present moment.
Yeah. And his essay, My Own Life, is incredibly powerful.
Oh, yes.
This was written after his cancer diagnosis. To give you
Wow.
some context, he was initially diagnosed with ocular melanoma.
A type of eye cancer exactly 9 years earlier, but it had recently spread to his liver.
Leaving him with limited treatment options.
Yeah, and despite this, he writes, I am now face to face with dying, but I'm not finished with living.
Wow.
That statement really struck a chord with me. How about you?
It's a testament to his resilience and spirit. Facing his own mortality, he chooses to focus on living on making the most of the time he has left.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's drawing strength from the philosopher David Hume,
Okay.
who also wrote an autobiography titled My Own Life after receiving a terminal diagnosis.
I didn't know that about Hume. That's
Yeah,
pretty profound.
it is. And it's interesting to consider their differing temperaments.
Mhm.
Hume described himself as having a mild disposition,
Okay.
while Sachs was known for his vehement disposition and extreme immoderation in all my passions.
Right.
Yet despite these differences, they both found a way to face death with a certain degree of acceptance.
I think that's what's so inspiring about Sachs. Even in the face of death, he's full of passion and a desire to experience life to the fullest.
Yes.
He talks about deepening his friendships, saying farewells, writing, traveling, seeking greater understanding.
It's about living intentionally, wouldn't you say? Choosing to focus on what truly matters and letting go of things that no longer serve you.
Mm-hmm.
He even mentions detaching from news and politics.
Really?
Not out of indifference, but
Yeah.
from a desire to prioritize what's essential to him.
That's a profound shift in perspective.
It is.
And I think it's something many of us can relate to. We get so caught up in the day-to-day, the news cycle, the anxieties of life,
Yeah.
that we sometimes forget what truly matters.
Exactly. Sachs reminds us to ask ourselves, what brings us joy? What are the things we want to accomplish or experience in the time we have remaining? And how can we let go of things that are holding us back from living fully?
Those are powerful questions to consider.
They are?
Now let's move on to Sachs's enduring fascination with science,
Okay.
especially in the face of death.
Hmm.
This comes through beautifully in his essay, My Periodic Table. And I'm particularly struck by how he describes the excitement he felt when reading scientific journals.
Like nature and science.
Yeah.
What did you make of that? It reveals a lot about his character, doesn't it? Here he is facing his own mortality, and he's still finding joy and solace in the discoveries of science.
Yeah.
It speaks to his insatiable curiosity and his love for the world, even as he prepares to leave it.
And remember that awe-inspiring night sky experience he describes?
Oh, yeah.
Seeing the sky powdered with stars. It intensified his awareness of his limited time, but also filled him with a sense of wonder and connectedness to something much larger than himself.
He was looking up at the stars, recognizing the vastness of the universe and the fleeting nature of human life.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he found comfort in that awareness.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that we are all part of something much bigger than ourselves, connected to a cosmic history that stretches back billions of years.
It makes me think about how often we get caught up in our own little worlds, our own problems and anxieties. Sachs encourages us to step back, to look at the bigger picture,
Yay!
and to find a sense of peace in that perspective.
He found solace in the non-human,
Yeah.
particularly in the elements and the periodic table. Imagine finding comfort in the building blocks of the universe,
Wow.
in these fundamental elements that have existed for eons.
He surrounded himself with elements like thallium, lead, thorium, and beryllium.
Each element representing different stages of his life.
Right. It's such a unique and poignant way to connect with the physical world.
It is.
It's almost like he was finding a sense of eternity in the enduring nature of these elements.
He was finding meaning and connection in the very fabric of the universe.
It is a beautiful and thought-provoking idea.
It really is.
It is, and it leads us to his reflections on his upbringing and evolving relationship with Judaism in his essay, Sabbath.
Okay.
This essay takes us back to his childhood in an Orthodox Jewish community in Cricklewood, London.
Right.
And he paints such a vivid picture of his family's Sabbath rituals, the strict observance, the special meals, the synagogue services, and the sense of communal connection it fostered.
It was clearly a formative experience for him.
Yeah.
The Sabbath rituals provided structure and meaning, creating a sense of separation from the everyday world.
Right.
And fostering a deeper connection with his family and community.
But his relationship with faith became more complex over time.
It did.
He gradually drifted away from religious practice.
Especially after his parents rejected him when he came out to them as gay.
It's heartbreaking to hear how their rejection rooted in religious doctrine impacted him. It highlights the potential for religion to be used as a tool for exclusion and judgment.
It does.
And it led to a period of yearning for meaning and connection.
Which sadly led him down a path of addiction.
Yet even with this complex history, Sachs continued to grapple with questions of spirituality and the search for meaning.
He did.
He found solace in his work as a neurologist, connecting with patients and sharing their stories. But it seems like a part of him always yearned for something more.
There's a sense of longing in his writing, a desire for belonging and connection that goes beyond the realm of the purely scientific or the purely personal. It's as if he was searching for a way to reconcile his scientific mind with his spiritual yearnings, to find a way to bridge that gap.
And that's where his cousin, Robert John Ullman, enters the picture.
A fascinating character.
Yeah.
A Nobel laureate in economics and a devoutly Orthodox Jew.
He insisted on giving Sachs a mezuzah for his door.
Oh, wow.
Even though Sachs didn't consider himself religious.
It's almost like Ullman saw something in Sachs.
Yeah.
A spiritual spark that perhaps Sachs himself wasn't fully aware of.
And Ullman's unwavering commitment to the Sabbath is particularly striking.
Oh, it is.
He famously said he would have refused the Nobel Prize had he been required to travel to Stockholm on a Saturday.
Wow. Talk about dedication.
He prioritized the Sabbath's peacefulness and separation from worldly concerns above even the highest honor in his field.
It's a powerful statement about the importance of prioritizing what truly matters, even in the face of worldly success. Yeah.
He saw the Sabbath not just as a religious obligation, but as a source of personal fulfillment and a way to enhance the quality of life.
And this brings us to a pivotal moment. Sachs returns to Israel after nearly 60 years
Oh, okay.
for his cousin Marjorie's 100th birthday. He experiences this unexpected warmth, being welcomed back into the fold, and is even invited to a Sabbath meal by Almond despite his secular life.
Imagine that after decades of living a secular life, Sachs finds himself back in the heart of his religious upbringing, experiencing the peace and nostalgia of the Sabbath,
Yeah.
and pondering alternative life paths.
It's almost as if he's come full circle, finding a sense of belonging and acceptance within the traditions that shaped his early life.
And it all unfolds against the backdrop of his terminal illness,
Right.
just makes it all the more poignant.
He's facing death, but he's still open to new experiences, still seeking connection and meaning. It's a beautiful testament to the enduring power of family and the potential for reconciliation, even across seemingly insurmountable differences. It raises so many questions about the nature of faith, the search for meaning, and the power of tradition.
Yeah.
What did this return to his roots awaken in Sachs? And what can we learn from his experience as we grapple with our own spiritual journeys?
I think those are questions we'll continue to explore as we delve deeper into Sachs's reflections on the Sabbath and what it might mean for us today.
So picking up where we left off, it's interesting how even though Sachs drifted away from religious practice, the Sabbath still held such significance for him.
Yeah, it seems like those early experiences of the Sabbath, the rituals, this sense of peace and separation from the everyday world, they really left a lasting impression on him.
They did.
And you mentioned how his parents meticulously prepared for the Sabbath.
Right, transforming their home into a sanctuary.
Yeah, what was it about their approach that stood out to you?
I think it was the intentionality behind it. It wasn't just about following rules. It was about creating a different kind of time and space, one dedicated to rest, reflection, and connection with family and community. They were consciously choosing to step out of the ordinary rhythm of life and enter into something sacred.
That makes me think about how we live today, constantly bombarded with information and demands on our time.
Right.
We rarely get a chance to truly unplug and recharge. Do you think that's what Sachs was getting at, the need for a modern-day Sabbath, even if we're not religious?
Absolutely. I think he was suggesting that we all need these periods of rest and renewal regardless of our beliefs, moments where we can step back from the frenzy of daily life and engage in activities that nourish our souls.
So it doesn't have to be a full day of strict observance like in Sachs' childhood.
Right.
It could be carving out a few hours each week or even just a few moments each day to disconnect from technology, be present with loved ones, engage in mindful practices, or simply enjoy the peace of nature.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you, what allows you to truly unplug and recharge.
And this is where Sachs's cousin Robert John Ullman, with his unwavering commitment to the Sabbath, offers such a powerful example.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he viewed the Sabbath not just as a religious obligation, but as a source of personal fulfillment and a way to enhance the quality of life.
And his dedication is remarkable, even inspiring. He was willing to forego the highest honor in his field, the Nobel Prize, to honor the Sabbath.
It challenges us to think about our own priorities. What are we willing to sacrifice for our well-being, for those things that bring us true peace and fulfillment?
It's a powerful message, especially in a culture that often glorifies busyness and productivity.
It is.
Sachs, in his final essays, seems to be urging us to slow down, to savor life's simple pleasures, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the time we have.
He's reminding us that life is precious and fleeting, and that we should make the most of the time we have. It's about living intentionally, focusing on what truly matters, and finding beauty and meaning in the everyday. And his return to Israel for his cousin's 100th birthday, that unexpected invitation to the Sabbath meal with Oman, it almost symbolizes a homecoming, a reconnection with his roots, and a rediscovery of the peace and solace that the Sabbath can offer.
It's a beautiful image, isn't it? He's come full circle, finding a sense of belonging and acceptance within the traditions that shaped his early life. And it's all the more meaningful because it occurs in the context of his terminal illness.
Yeah.
He's facing death, but still open to new experiences, still seeking connection and meaning.
It's a powerful message for all of us. It's a testament to his enduring curiosity and his willingness to embrace life even in its final stages. And the fact that he chooses to share these deeply personal reflections with us, his readers, is a gift. He's inviting us to join him on this journey of self-discovery and to find our own paths to peace and fulfillment.
His essays are a reminder that even in the face of mortality, there's still so much to appreciate, to learn, and to experience.
And that even when we feel lost or disconnected, there's always the possibility of finding our way back to what truly matters. So as we reflect on these powerful ideas, I'm curious, what resonated most with you from Sachs's essays? What are the key takeaways you'll carry with you?
For me, it's the reminder to embrace life fully, even in its imperfections, and to find joy in the simple things. It's about cultivating gratitude, nurturing our relationships, and pursuing our passions with intentionality and purpose. And of course, it's about creating those personal Sabbaths, those moments of pause to disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with our inner selves.
Beautifully said. Sachs's essays offer a profound meditation on life, death, and the search for meaning. They encourage us to live with intention, to savor the present moment, and to find solace in the things that truly matter. But there's one more intriguing element in his final essays that we haven't fully explored. He talks about completing his memoir and making a full and frank declaration of his sexuality, facing the world openly, with no more guilty secrets locked up inside me. Why do you think this revelation was so important for him, especially at the end of his life?
It seems like in confronting his mortality, Sachs felt a profound need to shed any remaining layers of secrecy and to embrace his whole self. This act of self-acceptance, of coming out publicly in the twilight of his life, speaks volumes about his journey towards authenticity and his desire to live without regret.
It's a powerful message, isn't it?
Yeah.
It suggests that true peace and fulfillment come from embracing our true selves, even the parts that we might have felt compelled to hide or deny.
Absolutely. It's about living in alignment with our values and being true to who we are, regardless of societal expectations or fears of judgment. And it's never too late to embark on that journey of self-discovery and to find the courage to live authentically.
Yeah, it's a powerful challenge to find those alternative sources of meaning and connection beyond, the realms of science and religion.
It really highlights that there's no one-size-fits-all answer, right? When it comes to these big questions.
Right.
It's about exploring different avenues for yourself, different philosophies, different ways of engaging with the world, and even with ourselves. What brings one person a sense of peace and purpose might not resonate with another at all.
And Sachs demonstrated that throughout his life and work, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
This incredible curiosity and openness to different perspectives.
Yeah.
He found meaning in the study of the brain,
Right.
in exploring human consciousness,
In the power of storytelling.
and even in those simple joys of connection and observation.
And let's not forget his deep love for the physical world,
Oh, yeah.
for the elements and the natural world. There's a real sense of awe and wonder in how he writes about nature, about the intricate workings of the universe.
It's a good reminder that meaning and connection can be found in the most unexpected places,
They really can.
if we're open to seeing them.
Exactly.
For some, it might be through art or music or literature. For others, it might be through acts of service and compassion. It could be connecting with nature, exploring new cultures, or even pursuing a craft or hobby that brings you joy. What are your thoughts on this?
I think the key is to be actively engaged with life, to cultivate curiosity and a willingness to learn and grow. Even in his final days, Sachs was still seeking new experiences, still writing, still connecting with others. He truly embodied this spirit of active engagement with the world.
And his final essays written as he was facing his own mortality are such a powerful testament to that, aren't they?
They really are.
This idea of living fully even when time is limited.
Yes.
He encourages us to focus on what truly matters,
Right.
to nurture our relationships, to pursue our passions, and to find beauty and meaning in the everyday.
He reminds us that life is a precious gift, and that even in the face of loss and uncertainty, there's still so much to cherish and appreciate.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the life and work of Oliver Sacks,
It's been a fascinating journey.
I want to leave you with this final thought. Don't wait for a crisis or a diagnosis to start living intentionally.
That's so important.
Embrace your curiosity, explore your passions, connect with others, and find those sources of meaning and purpose that make life worth living. And above all, remember to be kind to yourself and to others. The world needs more kindness, more compassion, and more people who are willing to embrace life fully, just as Oliver Sacks did.
Beautifully said. Let's carry Sachs's spirit of wonder, his thirst for knowledge, and his deep humanity with us as we navigate our own journeys. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking those moments of awe and gratitude that make life so extraordinary.
Did you get any of that?